I'm a reviewer, so let the reviews be joined. Hey guys, your friend Donabot back yet again with another video review. And as you can see, this is the last of my 7-episode series on Combiner Wars Victorion gift set. This is a pretty cool set. It's definitely worth picking up. In this video, I'm just going to show you how to basically take all 6 of these figures and combine them into her. Quick update, little bit of information on Victorion here. She was, of course, the fan-built combiner that was voted by all of us fans in 2015. Really cool. We actually sat on the poll that they had for her. We decided on her, not only her gender, that she was going to be a fembot, but what her name was going to be, what molds, as you see here, were going to be used, as well as her color and her special powers, which they decided to make, you voted on to be gravitational powers, and where she was going to be, her origin was basically supposed to be, which was a Sea of Rust on Cybertron. Even though these girls are all from Caminus, but they're technically their combined form of Victorion through the Enigma combination. Victorion was born in the Sea of Rust. We also decided that her rival was going to be Galvatronus, which we've gotten of that. Her attitude as well was actually voted on to be where she doesn't take instructions well, which when she first combined, she really didn't. But, you know, you have to read the comics on that. So, but that all is really good. Quick little note here that I haven't mentioned before. On the box here, I'm going to try to get this best in the light as I can. Slide. We have kind of a little misprint. Jumpstream and Dust Up's names are kind of reversed around. I actually think it was, yep, it's still done so on the back as well. Which I'm going to go ahead and set it this way, just so you can kind of get a look of what Victorion's going to look like. Here, kind of zoom that up a little bit. So, definitely what we're going to try to do. First off, let's go ahead and do her legs, which, as you can see, is designed basically to use the twin sisters here of, excuse me, ooh, nose running. Pardon me there. Skyburst and Stormclash here to be the feet, but you can, being a Scramble City set, you can use the cars as feet. You can use Jumpstream and Dust Up as the feet. You can use either way you want. You can even use some of the other combiner limbs from Minosaur or Aerial Bots or anybody as limbs or whatnot for this guy, or excuse me, this girl. But it's designed basically where if you use the helicopters here into, or the twins here as basically as their feet, she has the ability to fly. If you use the cars, she has the ability to basically move faster or run faster or something on to that agenda. But it's normally better to have the Skyburst and Stormclash here as the feet, which we're going to do. And I'm just going to set these back a little bit, and we'll go ahead and work on this one here, which I do believe, bad thing about these twins is the only way to figure out which one is who is to look at her faceplate here, and as you see, this one is Stormclash. I still just got to get used to the paint job here to decide which one's which. To transform her into, oh, before we do that, well, yeah, we can wait on that. Let's go ahead and just get her into our leg mode. Raise this port up, the blades up. You're going to flip the panels here up to form basically the front part of her feet for robot mode. Rotate these around like so for the cockpit into the peg hole, just like you would for robot mode. Do the same on this side. Just rotate it around and peg it up. You can then move this back down. You will then again pop this piece out and down. You will rotate this whole combiner port here out. At the same time rotating her head down, so you might want to actually rotate her head face forward to basically like in robot mode, and just rotate it back. This kind of just hides it from the back side. Rotate this back and peg it into the pegs like you would again for your robot form. rotate these blades up into the basically storage position here. And that's basically her leg mode there but we're not done with that yet, because I want to show this off. This is what you have your combiner port for your normal combiner team. This is actually Alpha Bravo's. You can see this is basically the foot mode for it. But this isn't what we're going to be using. Victorion actually had a new set, which are these. Pretty cool. They have some swivel right here for a nice ratchet right there. You can hear it clicking. And you got actually a good little foot swivel here to give her a little bit more articulation than that. And it's got the basically like a high heel type deal to it, which is really nice. Really, really good on this. And to combine it up to make our foot, you just take this peg it right there. And there's one leg done. We'll go ahead and do this side. Just do the same thing. Rotate. I like going ahead and doing that just to get it out of the way. Flip that up. Unpanel that. Open this up. Like so. And like so. Just flip these around. Same thing as this is the other side. Unpeg this out. Uh-oh. That never happened before. Just gonna see if I can pop that back on there. There we go. And we'll rotate that back around. Good thing that thing just pegs right in. I might have to get some super glue just to make sure that stays on there. Let's see. Yeah, that's good. We just flip this, peg that in, move the blades up and over, and you take the other combiner port, which also on these, I didn't mention this, this is their hand. You can take this and actually store it on the bottom of these when you want to. You just kind of slide it right in like so. It's a nice little storage place for it, because you can take this and peg it onto the side of Pyro Magna or any of the other, like for instance if you want to stick it on one of these, you can kind of do that just for like a storage thing if you want to display them that way. But that's you're up to you how you want to do this. We set that back aside, move her back aside, and we'll just once again take the peg hole, peg it right in, and there we have the feet ready to go. We'll set these two aside, and let's go ahead and work on her arms, which I actually got these kind of backwards. It's supposed to have dust up basically on her right side. To transform dust up into her arm mode, real simple. We want to unpeg these from the back, like so, like so. Rotate this around, and when you get to here, you want to go ahead and unpeg this, because you got to. This little port here actually has to rotate down and around, and then you can peg it back together like so, just to kind of get it in there. Oh, almost forgot to straighten this out. I didn't get it all the way straight. Straighten that all the way out. Basically like you're transforming it into her leg mode, or excuse me, her robot mode again. Peg that back together, and we'll just close this back up like that. And we have her lower half done. Fold all this back. Oops, almost forget to flip the windshield all the way back like so, and you grab the whole section, double hinge, flip it back. Then rotate. Oops, wrong way. Rotate it this away, and last but not least, let's not forget to ratchet out the combiner port out to the side. I actually go it out this way just to give her a little more clearance when you're combining her up. And you want to take the right hand and just peg it into that peg hole, and here is her right arm. We bring dust up here into view to do her transformation, which again is real simple. Dust up, simply just pull these down and straighten them out like so. And you peg these back together, which always, I don't know why dust up always tends to give me issues on this. It's the way these hip joints are, but you just kind of peg them together, peg it back in down here at the bottom as well, and you rotate it like, whoops, going the wrong way, this way. Put basically the top of the car facing towards you. Flip the panel here, back, flip this back, bring the compound port up, one more click, and we'll bring the other hand, peg it into the peg hole right here, and there's her left arm. Next, we'll go ahead and get Pyra here transformed. To do so, raise these up. You all, as you see here, you got a peg hole here, a peg hole there, which you got a peg here. You'll peg those right up in there. Real simple to do. It just pegs right in. The same on this side. This one, sadly, that is one thing that's lacking. There's a hole here that a peg could go right there, but you get. I kind of wish they had moved this back. Maybe add an extra hole, right, which I'm not showing. I apologize. Kind of if they put an extra like peg hole right here or peg there, and put a peg hole here. You know, it would help with the locking them together, but also give you the option to lock it up here. This one, all you have to do is you got this one side with a peg here or peg hole here with the peg there, and it just ratchets up and locks pegs into that on that side. This one you actually have the peg and the peg hole here, which will peg a hole there and a peg into that, which kind of locks it more securely in. As you can see, it's just a small little thing. And in mine, I actually have some issues right here, which we'll get into here in just a second when we get this fully flipped over. Basically, you ratchet these up, a couple ratchets out, almost like she's doing the splits. Let's not forget to open the chest panel, flip her head in, flip that back up. You want to rotate right here, right below the ratchet. Ratchet that joint around, and then you flip this up and rotate it back into place, like so. Ratchet that around, flip that up, like so. And it's supposed to, once you do this right, you ratchet it up and it locks in straight. You can see how, there we go. It kind of locks them in. You hear it click. Next, you'll flip this around, unpeg these from the side here, straighten this out. You will unpeg this up, straighten this out like so, rotate it around, flip it back down, like into this, basically ratchet this down, flip it all the way down. It's going to kind of latch in. There's not really there's a couple like pegs here that you can, I kind of wish they had a little peg hole to latch it into, just to make it more secure. You'll then at the ladder point, rotate that around, and basically you're just flipping it up and around here under her crotch area into that position. You will then flip her back around, rotate these, and it's supposed to latch back, but you see how come on mine on her one side, it will do it right on this side, but for some reason it doesn't want to lock right on this side. See how it's got that little bit of give it right there, but I just kind of work with it and bend it out just a little bit with the ratchet, just to kind of bend it, just to give it that. I don't know why in mine. I think there's just some plastic rubbing together there or something, or I'm just not getting it formed right. But if you see if I'm doing anything wrong, let me know, comment below. Right up here, you're going to take these red panels. You got a peg hole here, there's a peg right there. You just flip that, peg it right in. Do the same on this side, flip it up, peg it right in. You want to open these panels here for the combiner ports, like so. Finish this off by flipping our head down, flipping these panels down, which again, kind of wish there might have been a little peg or something here to kind of just peg those in, even if it was back in here, just to give it a little security. Rotate the main head around, and here you have Victorion's body ready to go. Other than one part, which is rust dust here, which will set Pyra down, because this way, I'm going to show y'all a little something I found on this. First things first, we'll transform her, rotate her windshield up, straighten her arms out behind her, and then you'll straighten this back out like you're going into a vehicle mode with her, except you want to rotate these like so and bend it basically this away, like so. Basically you're ratcheting it up. But before you lock any of these in, because you're supposed to peg it in this peg into this peg hole. I'm going to show y'all a little something I found on this, which I'm not sure if this was new or whatnot, or if they've just not shown this. Pyra, on her chest piece, she has a little peg right there, which that's going to come in handy because you're going to use this little peg hole here to peg it into, which if you do it right, you can peg her in there nice and securely, like so. Rotate this around back to the top. You take her arms. There's a little hole right there on each side. You'll take this little peg right there and peg it right in, nice and secure. Rotate these up and around, and there's the peg hole here. There's that peg. You just peg it right. Oops, almost forgot to rotate her feet back down to that position to the sides. Do the same on this side, and just peg it right up and in, and she's nice and secure. Looks a little bit better and looks a little straighter. Now let's combine her up into her full mode. You just combine the combiner ports into the, like you would normally. Whoops. Slide it in there, right like so. Do the same on this side. Just slide it in, and you straighten it up some. One thing that also you can do on this that I've noticed is you can see right here how the fins kind of rub into each other. It's not a big deal, but it does kind of hinder that. There is a way around that. If you unpeg, you can rotate it this away, and you see there's another peg hole right here on the inside of the arm. You can do like so, just to give it some little better clearance around there. Again, like so. And on this one, like so. Go on. There we go. And there, see, now you don't got the little fins rubbing together or anything. And it sort of looks better, but it's your call on that. I just wanted to show you all that you could do that. The instructions don't really show you how to do it, but it's just something there. You can see how mine, I don't know why it wants to do that right there. We'll raise this up. Bear with me just a moment while I adjust this stand here. Raise this up. Ratchet. Come on. Work with me now. Yeah, I'm sorry about all this movement. This little tripod didn't want to work with me too well. Now we just take the combiner ports here, slide them right in, like so. And we do the same on the other side. And Victorion is ready. Again, I don't know why mine is doing that on this. I think I may have actually, I think I see what I have done, which I think I got these on backward. I think these are ratcheted on backwards or something. But I will have to do a little bit of research in that on there. I should have done that beforehand, but I will look into that. Lastly, let's look at, before we go into the main thing here, let's look at her best part. The head sculpt here on Victorion's face looks really, really, really good. One of the main things I do like about these is the head sculpts on there. You got a nice light blue painted visor. You got the silver paint, like a red chin strap. All this looks really, really good. Just one of the best parts of it. But we'll slide this back, and we're going to do one last thing. We got one more thing to combine here for Victorian. I'll lower the camera back just enough. We're going to combine her weapons into a sword. You need both pieces here, all the pieces here, both swords, the cudgel, both the sword pieces, the shield, and this. What you do, you take this part here, and you're going to let's see, make sure I got this right. Flip this way. You take the sword pieces, and you have 2 peg holes on each side. You're going to peg these in like so. And once more on this side, you just slide it in like so. You then take this piece, and you see it's got this little peg hole here, peg there. It's going to peg into this peg hole, and actually it goes on this side. I forgot to flip this over. You got this peg hole, and you got these holes here. That's all this is going to peg into, because it got a couple pegs right there. You just kind of slide it, which I think I'm doing this. You do it that way. I actually was going to put it on backwards there. Lastly, you take this piece, the shield, and you do have a little peg hole here, which I'm going to flip this over because it's actually easier on this side. You got a peg hole there, and what you're going to do first is you got this hole right down here at the bottom. You're going to slide this piece here into it like so, and then once you get it in, you see that peg will just line up, and you just peg it right in. Once I get it pushed all the way up, there we go. And here we have Victorian Sword. Very, very, very cool. This has got to be one of the better parts of the figure, aside from, of course, the paint and stuff on the head sculpt on this. But this is definitely awesome. Definitely worth it. Nice, lovely, the blue. How this all just works really well together. And you just take her, and you can slide it right in to her hand. And as I do that, I pop that loop apart, and Victorion is ready. Definitely awesome. That definitely makes her look really good with that sword. I know we've had the Perfect Effect had come out with the combiner limbs for the other combiner teams. I wouldn't mind seeing what they could do with this set. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing bigger hands possibly for the feet. I think are good, but the hands, I don't see why a bigger set for hands wouldn't hurt for this. But all in all, it's pretty cool. Definitely worth picking up, guys. I picked mine up from Toys R Us. I got it on a sale. Got her a little bit cheaper than normal. Definitely worth the pick again, getting her in whichever way you can. Sadly, my sponsor, PrimeToys.net, does not have her opened for sale just yet. So I have to admit, you have to go to somewhere else currently to pick her up. Oops, sorry about that. But that's just something you can do. Let's not forget, guys, to check out PrimeToys.net for collector-grade toys without the collector-grade pricing. And you can go there, pick out you some Transformers, put in the code TRANSMISSIONS at checkout, and get 10% off your order. And let's not forget to also check out the also sponsored Transmissions podcast, who were first sponsored by them before me, and are great to listen to. They're a great group team to just really cool on podcast. One of the best out there, if not the best. Actually, take it back. They are the best. But that being said, guys, please like, comment, and share this video. If you haven't done so, please subscribe. And please feel free to comment below. Let me know what you think of these videos. What kind of improvements I could use. But that being said, guys, this is Don saying thanks for watching, and I hope to hear from you soon.